Hi, I'm Dr. Keith Graham from the School of Teacher Education at National Taiwan Normal University. Welcome to my office hours. Today's question is about switching between languages in the bilingual classroom. The teacher asked, is it okay to mix Mandarin and English in the same sentence? This is a question I hear from many educators around Taiwan, particularly those new to bilingual instruction. But it's one where there is a lot of contention and disagreement among Taiwanese scholars. As a starting point for answering this question, let's begin with the Ministry of Education's stance on the issue. In the Elementary and Junior High School Bilingual Education Project Document for academic year 113, the MOE's position is clear. They recommend that teachers avoid mixing Mandarin and English within the same sentence to help students establish correct English communication patterns. That being said, some clarification is needed. Over the summer, I attended a large online meeting hosted by the K-12 administration of the MOE. In that meeting, this was one of the issues that came up. A question was raised by one of my colleagues on whether this recommendation applied to both teachers and students or just teachers. The MOE official suggested their intention was the latter, that this statement applied just to teachers. They understood and accepted that students may mix the two languages in a sentence. Nonetheless, they still recommend that teachers avoid mixing within a sentence and guide and encourage students to do the same when possible. While this may seem practical, this recommendation has sparked some debate among my Taiwanese colleagues. Why? Well, colleagues who oppose this recommendation often bring up the concept of translanguaging. In their usage of this term, they are referring to the natural practice of switching between languages in conversation, a phenomenon observed in many bilingual individuals globally. However, the term translanguaging can refer to many things, so it's best to specify that their argument is from the position of natural or fluid translanguaging. And frankly, they're not wrong. My wife switches between Mandarin and English regularly when speaking to me and my son. Not because she has to, but because that's just what she does naturally. Throughout Taiwan, you will encounter similar natural switching between Mandarin and other local languages. So yes, bilinguals naturally switch between their languages when talking to other bilinguals. But that last point, when talking to other bilinguals, is a key consideration to take into account with this question. To my knowledge, we are not doing bilingual education to promote Mandarin-English communication among bilingual Taiwanese. We are doing it to develop the ability to communicate with non-Mandarin speaking people globally, while of course concurrently maintaining Mandarin speaking abilities among the local population. This reality makes the argument of that's what bilinguals naturally do not really applicable for our context like it may be in other educational contexts where translanguaging theories are applied. With this in mind, my recommendation generally aligns with that of the MOEs. If a teacher plans to use English to communicate something, they should do so using a complete English sentence. Once the sentence concludes, then the teacher can either continue in English or switch to Mandarin. While I acknowledge that natural translanguaging is a real phenomenon in the life of bilinguals, I do not necessarily promote it as a pedagogical method for bilingual education in Taiwan. Instead, I promote pedagogical translanguaging, where the teacher makes strategic and explicit choices about how and when languages are used. In my mind, pedagogical translanguaging better aligns with the proposed outcomes of bilingual education in Taiwan. Thank you for attending my office hours. If you have a question that you'd like me to answer on this channel, send me an email at kmgraham@ntnu.edu.tw. I'll see you next time.